Well, welcome back to Gamehole Con 2025, where we are continuing our interviews here, and this is Drunken Larry, as you know, and I'm with.
I'm Peter Drummond with Beefy Shotgun Wizards.
And what do you have?
Yeah, so Beefy Shotgun Wizards is my first RPG. It's homemade, really simple concept. You know, you're a high-level wizard, you're out of spells, but you're not out of shells. The action picks up in the middle of the dungeon. It's a really simple sort of run-and-gun game, emphasis on improvisation. It's got a pretty loose rule system. We use a Jenga tower to simulate time in the dungeon, resources spent. So every time you're moving room to room, you're pushing blocks out. But the combat system.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So, tell me, well, what?
Yes.
So you have a game of Jenga sitting there,
Yep, right in the middle.
and you're just playing an RPG,
Yep.
and then what happens?
So the Jenga tower is basically a stand-in for tracking like torches, matches, rations, how much time you've spent in the dungeon. So rather than a lot of bookkeeping, as you move from room to room, you're removing a Jenga block. If you decide you want to take a short rest, you're removing a Jenga block. If you're taking time to loot or search an area, you're taking a Jenga block.
So, is your scenario finished if the Jenga falls over?
Yep, everyone dies. So I know it sounds silly, but I will tell you, anyone, and this is a good, this is a mechanic I recommend people trying. Once you start seeing the look on your players' faces as the tower starts wobbling, it's the most tactile way I've found and sort of simplest way to simulate that nervousness of we've been down here too long.
So, is the person that called the action, whether it be we're going to sleep, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to whatever, they're responsible for stacking?
I leave that up to the party. I have found there are some folks that are just they self-identify as self-consciously bad at Jenga.
Yeah.
So usually towards the end of a game, there'll be 2 or 3 designated tower pullers. That usually comes about organically. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I recommend people try the mechanic out at least. Some recommendations I've gotten from people who think it's cool but don't like a TPK that they have little control over. You could have like the dragon come when the tower falls, or some other type of fail state that isn't TPK.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and not everyone's cup of tea. People who really love tracking encumbrance and things like that.
All right, people might know what is the acronym you're using there?
Total TPK, total party kill. When everyone in the RPG party dies. Yeah.
I don't play on a tabletops where that happens too much.
Yeah.
So this is your first attempt at doing a game.
It is.
Why did you want to?
So I really enjoyed, growing up with wargaming. I was a Warhammer 3rd edition guy growing up in high school. I love the feeling of just a fistful of dice, throwing it, doing a bunch of damage, being able to sort of mow down enemies, have really big fights with quick resolution. I have nothing against, D20 RPGs where combats can take a long time, but with Beefy Shotgun Wizards, you can run a full dungeon from entry to boss chamber in 3 hours. You can get through, between 5 and 10, depending on your pacing. 5 and 10 encounters, including some combats, some puzzles, some social encounters, and it's dumb fun. When the tower falls, usually people are laughing.
So your rule set is uniquely your own. It's not a companion in 5 or D&D 5 or something like that, where it's augmenting a different rule set or anything. It's completely in its own.
It's, I will say, completely original with the asterisk that it's a D6 dice pool system.
Yeah.
I've played Shadowrun 2nd edition.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of DM Scotty and his Easy D6 system. And for that matter, the Jenga Tower, I've never had the opportunity to play Dread, but I own the rulebook. It has influenced a lot of my thinking. That's also a Jenga Tower-based game.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sound like I'm I've invented something truly unique here. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, but it is definitely it's my own system.
It is that mechanic I had not heard before. We've done a lot of these interviews. I had not heard anybody do that before, but certainly could be something that might be used elsewhere, and I just hadn't heard of it. There's so many games out there, so it's possible to know them all. So you had some thoughts, Tom, off camera.
This is the
Off
disembodied
camera.
off-voice camera. Okay, so
Love it.
Maybe a little more.
loving the whole concept of this. Okay, so I'm old. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm really old. So I love everything you're doing in here. I like the simplicity of the system, which for me as a guy who doesn't have a ton of time to really delve in, that really kind of works for me. So is this all available online?
It is. I have an itch.io page, or Itch.io,
Right.
As people call it. The link will be on there. It's Dungeons Hammers at itch.io.
Yeah, there will be
It'll
links
there'll be
below.
links, yeah.
But that also being said, only because I'm old,
Yeah.
and print might be a touch small for us old folks.
It's a little small. I will say I'm working on and hope to be back to promote the Kickstarter maybe in 4 to 6 months.
Am I wrong, Larry? Am I wrong?
I will say I feel very confident in the rule set, that it's very close to final form, but as you noticed, I did this to make it compact, so I could be affordable. I could hand out some copies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of abbreviations and font size that will be getting larger in the final edition. That's a critique very well taken. But yeah.
No. Again, just I'm old, dude. I'm really
yeah,
old.
It's funny you should mention that. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, so I buy books for my grandma, and I buy books for my mom at this point, and they've gone from just whatever standard font to, as they got older, getting the easy reading edition, the large print edition. I'm like, these games may have to move to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Your 7-year-old, the D&D player, wants to play still.
again, and so your character creation setup and stuff is great. I love what you've done with all of that. Because I'm way off camera today, I love your artwork.
Oh, thank you. And it's not mine. I can't take credit for it. I'm glad you brought it up. Daniel Harilla Carlson is the artist I work with. He's in Europe. Daniel's going to kill me. In Norway, I believe. But he actually has a Kickstarter live right now, Duggan Throat Divided. It's a really dope old school adventure. I've backed it. I want to say it's OSE compatible, but if you like running like D20 based dungeon crawlers, you should check it out. His artwork is beautiful. It's got a gritty punk aesthetic.
Dude, see that?
It's great.
Exactly. And for this game, the gritty artwork really works well for this whole concept. I love just the gritty feel of that artwork.
Did I hear you are starting a Kickstarter for this, or?
There will be a Kickstarter next year, so keep a lookout for that. I would be remiss if I didn't plug Daniel, my artist, who has this other Kickstarter for Duggan Throat Divided. Anyone who likes old school role-playing games, old school dungeon crawls, social encounters, definitely check that out. And I will say, for anyone listening who's ever thought of creating their own game, I very much encourage folks to get out, get active, find a community. This went from my basement to being like an actual product I can hold up and show you, because Daniel and I met doing a game jam. It was actually for the Questing Beast game jam for his game Knave 2nd edition. We just started talking on a Discord. I loved his art. I started pitching him my idea for this. He's like, I love it. He started just generating some art right off the bat. And so he's very much like a creative partner in this as far as the imagery goes. There's a few rules he definitely influenced as well. And while I'm doing thank yous, Walton Wood is my editor. You may know his name from Ninja Borg. He's actually edited a ton of really amazing stuff that I'm blanking on all of it right now. But search Walton Wood. He's like one of the best out there. Really incredible editor.
All right. So you got anything else?
Disembodied Voices cover the two things I really, or three things that I really kind of wanted to talk about. So Disembodied Voice is good.
So anything else you want to cover?
I would just say, anyone listening to this, if you like what I've been talking about, simple dungeon crawling game where you can kill a lot of stuff really fast, doesn't take itself too seriously. Hop on the itch page, download it for free.
What is that page?
It's itch.io, Dungeons Hammers. There will be a link below because I'm probably getting one of the dots wrong or things like that. You can download it free. For my miniature painter friends out there, there is an STL file. If you want to print off Brolin, the title Beefy Shotgun Wizard, you can download that absolutely free and get printing. It was sculpted by Anna at Gardens of Hecate. She's an amazing painter and sculptor. And if you like old school minis, definitely check that out. Free to download.
All right, sounds great.
Awesome.
All right, we are going to wrap up this one, and we will see you with more interviews as the weekend goes on.
Awesome. Larry, Tom, thank you guys.
Thank you.